Listed measurements: 6 foot 4 3/8, 229 pounds, 2018-19 year. Eligibility: junior with 2s of eligibility remaining, including 2018. Depth chart: Claypool's positioning on the depth chart hinges on how he compares to sophomore Michael Young. One of the two will be the second option among the receivers, earning the starting duties at the field receiver position, with the other lining up in the slot and splitting time with the tight ends. If focusing solely on 3 receiver sets, Claypool may yet line up at slot, providing a physical option on the interior while Young threatens the top of the secondary. Recruiting: a consensus 4-star recruit, the intriguing Canadian chose the Irish over offers from Michigan, Oregon and Arizona, among others. Do not think Claypool's development has been slowed by crossing the border. He insists the only difference in the game in arriving at Notre Dame was the speed on the field, a typical challenge for anyone coming from high school, no matter the country. Career to date: Claypool's initial impact may have come on special teams, making 11 tackles in 12 games as a freshman, but he broke through as a receiver in 2017, especially against Wake Forest when he caught 9 passes for 180 yards and a touchdown. He started 8 games and finished the second on the team in both catches and receiving yards, trailing Equanimeous St. Brown in each category. Claypool missed the Citrus Bowl against LSU with a shoulder injury, but was ready for contact in spring practice by early April. 2016 to 12 games, 5 catches for 81 yards. 2017 to 12 games, 29 catches for 402 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2018 Blue Gold game, 6 catches for 151 yards and 2 scores. Quotes: Irish head coach Brian Kelly suggested in early April he expects Claypool to wind up in the field position. His physical abilities certainly would make him a threat along the sideline. We think that's where he can best impact what we want to do, Kelly said. Chase is a young man that the attention to detail, the focus, he's got to bring traits every day. He's a great-looking kid physically. He can make plays. We just have to keep working the process with him. If he just respects the process and sticks with it, he's going to be a really good player. On one hand, the process takes time. On the other, it is expedited when a player buys in entirely, something Notre Dame offensive coordinator Chip Long was still waiting for from Claypool this spring. We're still counting on him to grow, Long said April 12. Obviously, he is a great talent. The moment he decides that he's going to be a big-time player. The shoulder held him back a little bit, so he's kind of getting into the flow of things. When he decides he wants to be great, he's going to be great. What was projected a year ago, Long's predilection to larger receivers fits in with his tendencies to utilize 2 tight ends. In some alternate universe, Long has not arrived at Notre Dame and Claypool's career could have an entirely different direction. Sending Claypool's frame on quick routes across the middle should provide quarterback Brandon Wimbish an especially dynamic safety valve of sorts. Typically, the last red is a running back in the flat or a tight end on a delayed release. That is not to say Claypool will be the last read, he won't be. It is to say envisioning him running a 5-yard slant from the slot position is to foresee a can't-miss target only a few yards away from the quarterback. The slot obviously does other things, and Claypool will do them. The point here is to illustrate some of why Long may want to try such height and length at a position usually reserved for shifty converted running backs. This ceiling for Claypool may be about 30 catches and a couple scores. Photo by Jonathan Daniel, Getty Images 2018 Outlook. Where does one collect his winnings for nailing the projection of Claypool's 2017 sports gambling was not legal yet? Too bad. Looking forward, it may hardly matter if Claypool or Young ends up the number 2 receiver. Their opportunities opposite senior Miles Boykin may come down to situation and matchup. If a 3rd and goal against USC with 6'2" safety Marvell Tell providing man coverage now that cornerback Jack Jones has been ruled out for the academics, then perhaps simply throwing a jump ball to Claypool may be the best option. Expecting a player to replicate the previous numbers does not usually sound like progress. When suggesting Claypool again end up with 30 catches for a few hundred yards and a couple touchdowns, the more demanding hope would be he avoids Saturday afternoons with none or only 1 reception, as happened 4 times in 2017. Some of last year's ups and downs may be attributed to the inconsistent quarterback play, but Claypool was equally unreliable. Overcoming that would mean Kelly's and Long's spring-long messages were heard and tended to. Down the road, Claypool and Boykin are on the same timeline in terms of eligibility, but Claypool has put up more career stats than the senior, yet Boykin's Citrus Bowl heroics and solid spring performance have established him as the top receiver heading into 2018. Claypool and Young will have a chance to change that. Whichever receiver proves the steadiest in September will presumably become the primary target through the rest of the fall. Claypool has the talent to do that. After his acknowledgements of that ceiling, and the emotions that have kept him from it, following the Blue-Gold game on April 21, perhaps he can finally capitalize on that potential in his final year of eligibility in 2019. In that instance, Claypool undoubtedly has the physical gifts to entice NFL front offices. Related reading: Claypool's emotions could set the ceiling on Notre Dame's receivers. Notre Dame 99-2, number 99 Jerry Tillery, defensive tackle, senior. Number 97 Micah Treadway, defensive tackle, senior. No. 95 Myron Tagovailoa-Amosa, defensive tackle, sophomore. Number 94 Darnell Ewell, defensive tackle, sophomore. Number 93 theoretically Jamian Franklin, defensive tackle, incoming freshman. Number 91 Adia Gundaji, defensive end, junior. Number 90 theoretically Tommy Tremble, tight end, incoming freshman. No. 89 Brock Wright, tight end, sophomore. Number 88 Javon McKinley, receiver, junior. Number 87 Michael Young, receiver, sophomore. Number 86 Alize Mack, tight end, senior. Number 85 George Takacs, tight end, early enrolled freshman. Number 85 Tyler Newsome, punter and captain, fifth-year senior. Number 84 Cole Kmet, tight end, sophomore.